Hacemos pasteles cada vez más grandes. ¡Es una locura! El éxito del negocio es muy importante para la familia. El sueño de mi padre era que la pastelería Carlo se convirtiera en una marca familiar y trabajamos para llegar a serlo. Esta es la pastelería Carlo. Todas las semanas son cientos los pasteles y masas que salen por estas puertas. Este es mi personal, mi familia. Haremos de esta pastelería la mejor de todas. Yo soy Buddy, el jefe. Cake Boss.
Cake Boss, nuevo episodio jueves a las 8. En los jueves exquisitos de Discovery Home and Health.
Hola, buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Soy Arnoldo Adame, director en Discovery, y me da mucho gusto estar aquí, me da mucho gusto saludarlos, pero más todavía poder presentarles al pastelero más famoso, más creativo y más querido de la televisión y del mundo entero, un personaje carismático que todos ustedes conocen. Buddy, además de ser el creador de los pasteles más ricos, con las formas más inimaginables y que le puede dar forma a cualquier cosa que alguien se imagine, es un gran empresario y hoy viene a compartirnos sus experiencias. Me da mucho gusto que están todos ustedes aquí, muchas gracias. Obviamente todos gracias a Easy, también le agradecemos mucho a Easy que nos haya permitido hacer este evento con ustedes. Como saben, Buddy tiene una pastelería, Carlos Bakery, el Cake Boss, como lo conocemos todos, y pues en ella ha dado forma a cualquier cantidad de pasteles que seguramente todos ustedes han visto. Entonces me da mucho gusto presentarlo. Con ustedes un aplauso por favor muy fuerte. Buddy, gracias.
So excited to be here. Thank you.
It's a pleasure and an honor to have you here. We're very happy to meet that your fans are able to meet you, that you can share with them these great moments. So please enjoy them. We're gonna enjoy your hearing with a lot of joy and attention.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
Hola, Mexico! Thank you guys so much for that warm reception. Every time I come here to Mexico, you guys make me feel so at home and so welcome, like family. So I really, really want to appreciate that, and I want to thank you. I'm excited to be here, and I got to tell you, I had such an amazing day today. Just kind of hanging out with the people, made a special cake with a new friend. Yeah, it was good. With two new friends, yeah. And I want to tell you a little bit about my story, because you guys invite me into your house every week to enjoy Cake Boss with your family. So I want you to know a little bit more about the guy behind the cake. Know a little bit more about who I am and how I became who I am. So I'm going to tell you guys my story. Starts back when I was a little boy. It's probably about 12 years old, and that's when my dad said to me, I want you to come work at the bakery. And I would go with him, and he was my idol. He was really like the man I looked up to and I wanted to be like. So I wanted to be like him, and I started to bake and I started to do things. And from a very young age, I was good at it. I started to progress really quick. And I was about 15 years old, and I knew that I wanted to be a baker for the rest of my life. And this is important, especially to the little guys out there, because I'm very successful because I love what I do. And after all the years and all the cakes and everything else, I still get a kick out of it. So when I was 15 years old, I realized that being a baker was my dream job. And it was the cake decorating. It was, dreaming something up and putting your mind, your heart, your soul into it and giving everything you got to it and stepping back and looking at what you accomplished, it was a feeling of satisfaction, a feeling that I yearned for and wanted for the rest of my life. So I decided that I was going to be a baker. My dad had a good bakery, and unfortunately, when I was 17, he passed away. I actually had to drop out of high school to go run the bakery. And, you know, it was a tough time for me because I was a kid. I was just a baby. I lost my dad. I lost my best friend. And this was the time in my life that I realized that I could do anything. Because, you know, the odds were against me. The chips were down. And that's when I was pushed to the limits, where it was like, either I'm going to fail or I'm going to succeed. And I don't know, I guess everybody's got that inside them. You just got to know how to bring it out. How do you turn that switch on so that you can go get it? And me, it was just I couldn't fail. I could not fail. And no matter if I had to work 7 days a week, 18 hours a day, what I didn't know, I was going to learn, I was going to read. I humbled myself to the bakers who knew more than me. I was the first one in, the last one to leave. I did it through pure hard work. And after a couple of years, I started to get really good at you know, had it. And the business was going well, and my family was okay. And then I said, how am I going to put my mark on this bakery, right? You know, because at the time, there were people that were making these fancy cakes with fondant, but I didn't really know what it was at the time. So I said to my supplier, I said, give me a bucket of that stuff. I'm going to teach myself how to do it. And I taught myself how to do it, and then I got better and better and better. And before you know it, I started making these fancy cakes because the cakes we had always tasted great, but they didn't look like the cakes that I make today. So that was the first direction in changing the business model for the bakery to do these fancy cakes. And once I started to do that, I got better and I got better. And I put some cakes in my window. And then a lady walked by my window one day and she said, wow, your cake is beautiful. She said, I work for the bridal magazine and I would love to feature it. And I was like, wow, you know, I said, that'd be awesome. So that was really my start into it. I made that cake for that bridal magazine, and I started to be in magazines all the time, because you're in one, you're in another, you're in another. And that was really the start of the television, because, and again, if you would have asked me when I was 20 years old, are you going to be standing in Mexico City in 20 years and be, you know, have a television show in 220 countries and territories all over the world and be the most famous baker in the world, I would have told you you're crazy. I would have said, no, you're nuts. I said, what? Really? So that wasn't the plan. It was never the plan, right? But in life takes you through different avenues and different journeys, and it's kind of like, how do you make it, or how do you turn it into what you want it to become? So from the magazines, they started doing these like these cake challenges. And when they wanted to find bakers who could compete, they looked in the magazines. So they figured whoever's in the magazines is the best bakers. So let's call them and see if they want to be in it. So my first competition, they called me and they're like, you want to compete on the television show where you're going to make these big fancy cakes? I was like, hey, of course. I'm big, yeah. Because I'm competitive and I love it. But again, even then, I had no idea. Like, I didn't think I was going to be on television. Like, I said, all right, I'll do a cake challenge. It'll be good for my bakery, and we'll see what happens. It wasn't until my third cake challenge, which, by the way, I lost. I'm not bitter about it. Okay? I'm not bitter. I should have won, but I lost. Now when I see the judges in real life, I'm like, yeah, I lost that competition, but I won in life. So after the competition, and look, I'm big enough to admit if I should win or lose, really. It was a wedding cake competition. And at the time, that was really what I did. I did this beautiful 4-tiered wedding cake and a groom's cake, and I was done 2 hours early. I mean, I killed it. And all the other cakes were like lopsided or whatever, so I'm standing there, and I'm like, I know I won, I know I won. And then I lost. So I was so mad, and I was in my kitchen, and I was cleaning up, and I'm like, you know, I'm all banging things in my kitchen, and the camera guy who filmed me that day comes in the kitchen and goes, you know, buddy, you were great today. I said, how can I lose? I had the best cake. He goes, no, not your cake, you. I said, what are you talking about? The guy's name was Tony. I said, Tony, what are you talking about? He goes, no, because you make great television. He says, you need a TV show. And I was like, maybe I need a TV show. Started thinking, you know, I started saying, hey, got a 100-year-old bakery, crazy family, I make these giant cakes. I started thinking of my life, and I said, yeah, you know, my life could be a show. As I go, and I think, and I laugh. So, of course, I had to go home and tell my wife, because again, you know, I didn't want her to hear her say, oh, another one of your crazy ideas or whatever. So I'll never forget, I was laying in bed with my wife, and I told her, I'm like, you know, the guy Tony told me that I'm really good and I should have a TV show. And she turned around to me and she goes, you will. And I was like, what? She's like, you will. I go, what do you mean? She goes, well, to be honest, I hate you for it, but anything you set your mind to, you accomplish. She said, if you really want this, you're going to do it. She said, you don't know how to fail. She said, that's what I love that about you. So now I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this, you know. Now I'm even more encouraged and energized and ready to go. So I remember calling up Food Network, all right? And I call up Food Network and I tell them, I got your next hit TV show. Me, my family, this and that. And they were like, no, buddy, you know, that's all right. We don't really need that kind of show. Keep doing challenge. I was like, oh God, you know, like, oh man, here's my thing. Then TLC was looking for a cake show. And it's funny how that third competition I lost, right? So they asked all the bakers in America to send in tapes. The person who won that challenge, the one I should have won, sent in the tape to get herself the show. True story. This is a true story, I swear to God. They get the tape, and they watch it, and they're like, who's this guy? They call me up. It's 1 December, and December 2008. In my bakery, my sister's like, buddy, TLC's on the phone for you. I don't know if it was the band. I was like, TLC, you know? And they said, we came across your footage, and we're thinking of doing a show about a bakery. So I'll have a great idea. I said, just follow me to my bakery. I said, you know, I have a 100-year-old bakery, crazy family, I'm nuts. I said, it'll be great. So they said, take a camcorder, run it through the bakery, and send it to LA. And I did. I sent it there. The next day they called me, they're like, we want you. Who's your agent? I'm like, me. So it wasn't like I shot a sizzle. It wasn't like there was a production company behind me who believed in me. It was me. You know, it was me being that person in my business who was my own marketing arm, my own person who propelled myself forward, who tried to make the deals, who created the relationships, where people knew they could count on me, whether it was my clients or whether it was a magazine, whether it was a television show. I was raised to be a man of my word, where if I shake your hand, it's better than me signing a contract. And all those things that led up to that point, that break came, right? Then 2008 comes, TLC wants me, and now I have a TV show. And now I sit back and I'm like, okay, now I gotta make this great. And what did I do? I resorted back to the one thing that I know how to do. Never give up and work hard. So I said to myself, and again, I'm not a dummy, right? I'm gonna be honest. I said, how am I gonna set myself apart? Right? I said, what am I gonna do? I said, I have to make cakes that are out of control. I have to make cakes that not anybody can just make. I have to push myself to the limits. Really, that was my original intent, was whoever else is doing this, we're gonna make them look bad. We're just gonna make things that they ain't gonna be able to do. We started doing Cake Boss. What I didn't realize was that it was gonna inspire people, that it was gonna inspire young kids to believe in themselves, to follow their dreams. I didn't know that it was gonna bring families together to spend a half an hour a week. You know, I was just being me. I was just being my hardworking self and about family. And being true. You know, I think that no matter what in life, you have to be true. So the same guy you see up here is the same guy that you would see in the hallway, or the same guy that you would see on the television show, or that's just who I am. I never forgot who I am, and I never will. And I think that that's really, truly part of my success. We started Cake Boss in 2009. We've done almost 350 episodes. I think we're on season 10 or 11, I'm not even sure. It's aired in 220 countries and territories all over the world. It's dubbed in 45 languages. I've been able to have the privilege to go to so many countries and see so many people and see so many cultures. And what I love about it is when you travel the world, you see how different we are, right? You see different food, you see different religions, you see different clothes that people wear, different music or whatever. But there's one common denominator that's important to the whole world, and that's family. And I feel like no matter where you go in the world, family is so important. And as important as it is to you guys here in Mexico, it is to me in the US. And I think that that's the one common denominator on why Cake Boss does so well all over the world. Because we're the same. And that's the one thing. We all have our kids and our families and our brothers and our sisters and our parents, and we love them. And it might drive us crazy, or we might fight, or it might be this, but at the end of the day, you couldn't have it any other way, right? That's right. So that's what it's all about. And it's been really my privilege to be able to do what I'm able to do now. And knowing that I inspire people, knowing that I create entertainment. I'm a little funny. I know I'm a little funny. Once in a while. And it's awesome. And I want you guys to know that you mean so much to me, all my fans. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I do, I really do. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, because without you guys, I couldn't do what I do. And I'm going to continue to try to do content, and I'm going to continue to do cakes and everything else that I'm doing. Hopefully, we're going to open a bakery here in Mexico, right? Or maybe do some filming here in Mexico, right? Yes! When we filmed Alta Sofia the Body, we filmed it here. I don't know if you guys know that. I was here for like 2 weeks. That was a lot of fun. But you know, it's been an amazing journey for me. And I think that everybody's gonna find their amazing journey in their lives, especially you guys out there, because you guys are the future. So we need you to dream the biggest, because you can do anything. And you have to dream big, you have to want it, you gotta work hard, you gotta never give up, but you can do anything. And that's what it's all about. So I want to thank you guys for always making me feel great and always making me feel welcome here in Mexico. We love you guys, and I want you to know too that my goal is to continue to do more here in Mexico, not only with television, but with bakeries and opportunities and stuff like that, because I believe in the Mexican people. We love you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your time, your heart with us, with your fans. It's very a great experience to hear you and to have you here. We hope you enjoy your time in Mexico, that you enjoy your fans, and we hope to see you back here soon.
We gotta film it. We gotta have Next Great Baker Mexico.
No se pierdan, por favor, K-Boss, el desafío de Body y Home and Health.
That's it.
Así que muchas gracias por venir. Como saben, hay una parte de saludo personal y foto con Body. Va a ser de este lado. Les vamos a pedir, los vamos a ir llamando por colores, por eso les dieron un circulito, una estampita con color, para hacerlo en orden y que no sea esto un desastre. Entonces los vamos a ir llamando por colores para que por favor se formen por acá y cada quien pueda tener tiempo para saludar y tomarse una foto con Body. Muchas gracias a todos por venir. Quien está en